We just thought this was one of those things that it's probably not actually going to be that important. Turns out it's very important. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of North and Beard. Another week of lockdown, hair and everything else. But it is Amber's birthday today. So before we go any further, pause the vlog, like the video and comment down below saying happy birthday to Amber. It's going to be really bad if there's no comments saying happy birthday, Amber. Right, we're doing things a little bit differently this week. We'll explain in a sec. For anyone who's new to the channel, I'm Ben, this is Amber, and this is Jack. Everyone knows Jack, a bit of a legend. Normally we just vlog in our weekly life, but we thought this week we'd do something a little different. Since you guys seem to really enjoy us talking about new parenting and stuff, we thought, well, we need to talk about stuff that we found essential when it came to being new parents. First on our list, we're talking about feeding.
Okay, so our plan all along was to breastfeed, and I would say that we were a bit naive.
Yeah, definitely.
We genuinely thought, we don't need anything, just got the boob.
It's natural, it's gonna work.
Yeah, it didn't really go like that. If anybody knows us and knows our story, we were readmitted after 2 days for feeding support. Jack's got a tongue tie and it absolutely destroyed me.
Like, to the point where midwives would look at her and be like, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. So while we were in hospital, they taught us how to express. Now before, obviously everybody talks about breast pumps, but we thought, don't need one of them. We're either gonna feed on the boob or we're gonna formula feed. We don't need a breast pump. Well, get a breast pump, just do it anyway. It might not work out. If you still wanna give them all the good stuff, get a breast pump. So we got the Medela Swing Flex, which is basically like the handheld version of what was in hospital. We didn't go for this because we'd read anything or reviews or whatnot. We just needed to know that we were using something that we were familiar with.
Yeah,
so,
and we knew the hospital obviously recommends them. It wasn't, I can't remember the exact price of it, but it wasn't insane. I say that.
We'll put the price in the...
Yeah, the midwife did, so when I showed her we bought, she went, ooh, in for a fancy one, which it's not, I sounded like a guy from the in-betweeners there, but it's not a super fancy one, it's just good, and it's the same mate they use, which was the biggest thing for us, because like I say, we were not educated, so this gave us peace of mind.
Okay, so the next thing that we were recommended while I was pregnant was to get a Hacker, which is a silicone breast pump. Now don't get me wrong, didn't know how to use it until we needed to express. So basically the whole point of it is you put it on a boob while you're either feeding or expressing, and it catches the milk that would have normally been wasted in a breast pad or something. Now when I was expressing, I was actually getting just as much in the Hacker from just having it suctioned on there as I was pumping. So it's essentially like having a double pump, but you've not had to do anything.
It was quite impressive.
Get one, they're super cheap, I think anyway.
I think they
and considering normally that would just be wasted in a breast pad, just get one, it's great. That breast milk is like gold, so collect all you can.
Next up, which you might not think is a super important topic, but it actually is bottles. We're gonna kind of go more into this in another video, but we started off with another set of bottles which we were like, they're so modern, they're so quirky, they're gonna be great. They weren't. So we ended up switching over to the Tommee Tippee bottles, and I think we've only used those two, but I think it's fair to say that we would recommend just get normal, but you don't have to get fancy bottles, really don't. Just get the ones that work well for you and more importantly work well for baby.
So basically what we're saying is start off with the basic bottles. If you find that baby's got colic or drinks too fast and gulps and you need anti-colic, you can buy that at a later date, but just don't go out and buy the most expensive straight away because you just don't know how they're going to get on with stuff.
One of my roles as dad is I do the bottles like at night especially, so I wash them all. We've got probably 9 or 10 now that I wash up and sterilise and everything, and we've got a steam steriliser, which is one of the good things that came with the original set of bottles we had. And I have to say, definitely, if you haven't already got one, get a steam steriliser. It saves so much time. It's really easy. You just chuck it in the microwave, 2 minutes, you're good to go. Carrying on from that, we also got the Tommee Tippee Perfect Prep machine, which we didn't have at first because, like we said, we planned to do breastfeeding. It didn't go that way. And a friend recommended Tommee Tippee Perfect Prep, which basically, in a nutshell, makes the bottle for you at the perfect temperature. It takes a couple of minutes instead of having to boil water, wait for it to cool down, all that sort of stuff. It's a bit pricey. It's I think you can get them for like £60 actually if you don't go for the newest model. And it really, especially in the night feeds, makes life so much easier. If you're going to do formula, I strongly recommend getting one.
Okay, so the next one is Infacol. Now that's just, it's so silly and small, but it was such a lifesaver for us. Our friends actually bought us a few things that they thought was quite essential. Banging. Completely nailed that.
We just thought this was one of those things that it's probably not actually going to be that important. It turns out...
Oh, mate.
Oh. Turns out it's very important. A lot of babies have colic, and I don't know if Jack has full-blown colic or whatever, but he's a windy little guy, and this stuff really helps us burp him. And you'll learn when you have a baby, if you can't burp them, it's the end of the world.
Okay, another one that is essential, not essential. We're not really sure where to put it. Dummies. In the beginning, I was like, we are not getting a dummy.
Dead set against it.
If Jack has never had one, he'll never rely on one. Give it day 3, when we had our mini breakdown, I was trying all the dummies.
Get the dummy!
Get it out now. So don't be afraid to use one. If it works for you, then that's brilliant. If little one needs one to soothe, just do it. Don't feel guilty. I know you're going to feel guilty anyway, because I was like telling other people, oh, you shouldn't feel guilty about it. And I know you will, but don't. Just, if it works, do it.
One thing you'll notice about having a newborn is they spit up a lot, and if you're unfortunate, they sometimes vomit even more, which is a great time. And one thing one thing we were told before we'd even had him was get a lot of muslins, and we thought, we got gifted, so we never actually bought any of our own.
How stupid is that?
We got gifted muslins, so we thought, oh sweet, we've got a lot of muslins. No, you do not. If you think you've got enough muslins, you do not. Seriously, buy lots of muslins. Make sure they're big ones. We bought some muslins off Amazon, and they were very small and rubbish. They come in when you're in a pinch, but get big ones if you can.
Yeah. Okay, this one might sound obvious, or not. Just get a changing mat for upstairs and downstairs. It's so much more convenient. Another thing on that as well is changing bags. We found so many posh ones. We just take a rucksack and a fold-up changing mat.
Yeah, because those bags travel bags or whatever they cost a lot of money. A simple backpack has done it for us. And I guess a little extra note on the changing mat situation is you might find yourself getting a little brave and just like, I don't need to use a mat. Always use a mat. They poo and it goes everywhere.
This one was actually a gift from our best friends. It had Infacol, it had nappies, it had moisturiser, everything that you could need. All fits in this one caddy. We actually like it that much that we bought a second one for upstairs because it's just perfect. You need to change them in the living room, cool. Get the caddy, everything you need in there, spot on.
On the caddy note, we also had Sudocrem in there, which we swear by in life. We think it solves everything. It's like the duct tape of...
If you've broken your leg, just put Sudocrem on.
Exactly. So we had some of that in there, and it really didn't actually do wonders for Jack's little derriere. So we ended up using Bepanthen, and that stuff for children is wizardry. So definitely get some Bepanthen.
It cleared up his little rash before the next nappy. It was great.
Very impressive stuff.
This is what we got for Jack for the bath. A lot of people have got these. They come in blue and pink as well, but we got the grey. We got it on sale because, believe it or not, the grey one's more expensive than the other two.
I think it's because there's a great trend in life at the moment. But it's called a Bath Angel. It's really, really good.
He really likes it. You can fill it up to the fill line. And keeps his little bum warm in there, doesn't it?
It does. It's very very good. I can't really say why it's so good, but it is. So yeah,
just like it.
You should get one.
Good.
When it comes to thermometers, we, for some reason, decided we need the best, which kind of wasn't great in current times because of the pandemic and stuff. It seems that people have been buying thermometers left, right and centre so they can check their own temperature in case they've got the virus. So we basically had to get this, I think it was on Amazon, but it was a lot of money, like £80 or something. Yeah, way more than it is. It's a 3-in-1 Braun thermometer. Turns out, we don't use this half as much as we thought we did, but I definitely would recommend getting a thermometer. Now, I think the point I'm making is you don't need to get the one with all the bells and whistles. This does like bath water, temperatures for all ages. It is really good.
We use it for the bath. That's it.
Yeah. So I'd say just get yourself a thermometer because it is good to know. Like when you're not convinced of the temperature of a room, like a grow egg would suggest it's X amount Celsius. If you're not convinced, you can always scan baby's head and it'll give you peace of mind.
These are some cellular blankets, which again we were gifted with our caddy. When we were in hospital, they used cellular blankets and towels, and they always swaddled Jack, and it was great. And honestly, these blankets are basically the same as what they've got in hospital, but in grey. We love them. They're really versatile. So
we actually bought another pack of these because we love them so much. And obviously, like I say, baby spit up a lot. So it's always good to have double of most things. And these, they're not very expensive and they are super good quality.
We only really used swaddle stuff for Jack at night because he very much contact naps, if you hadn't gathered already.
He's a clingy boy.
So when we were swaddling him, to keep him warm, we were putting him in both blankets. They actually come as a twin pack, which is fab. So if you're only going to use one, maybe you don't need to double up, but we did anyway. At night, by the time you've unwrapped him from... We call them burrito blankets because he looks like a little burrito when he's finished. He does. So if I call it a burrito blanket, we're talking about the cellular ones. By the time you've unwrapped him, changed his nappy, wrapped him back up, fed him, and then realised that he's actually been sick on himself, unwrapped it again, it was just getting a little bit too much for us.
It was a bit of a chore.
So we decided to switch to sleeping bags as soon as he was big enough. I didn't realise that you can't put them in sleeping bags until they're a certain weight. So we got a sleeping bag in the summer last year. not thinking that we were going to be using it for a while, but honestly it's really good. You can get them quite inexpensively. We got ours from Sainsbury's. It was maybe £10. So we got 2 of them, one to wash with, because again, little Jack's sick all the time. But yeah, it's great. We really like it. He gets on well with it. The only downside is he keeps startling himself awake because his arms aren't in.
Yeah, but I would say you can get, I think Tommee Tippee ones where you can have their arms in. Kind of as much as we'd love him not to startle himself, he really likes having his hands out.
Yeah, Jack likes his hands out on his face all the time. So if we were to get one of the swaddle sleeping bags, his arms are usually in a bit like a chicken on them. And we know that he just wouldn't like that, but I think it works for a lot of people.
I guess what we're saying is, the minute you can move mode sleeping bags, do it. It's been great for us. But like I say, it's baby to baby. Your baby might not like a sleeping bag. Ours does, and we do. It just works well. So that is it for this week's video. Like I say, a little different. We need to know if you liked it or not. If you did, obviously like the video and drop a comment down below letting us know if you'd like us to do more of these. Because we do have more planned, but obviously we're not going to do them if you don't want to see them. But if you do like it, let us know. Make sure you follow us on Instagram for all the Jack updates, because everyone loves Jack updates apparently, which is great. Thank you again. We're slowly growing and it really does mean the world to us. It really perks up our weeks, which are struggles at the moment. We are full-time workers even though we've got a newborn, so weeks are tough, but all the support we get from you guys is really like hypes us up and it's great.
So good.
So yeah, we will see you next week. Take it easy. Did you enjoy our first little sit-down video, Jackie? Yep, enthralled.